Why did I get in trouble for tripling my company's profits in one day? My first week at the coffee shop, I kept having to tell customers we couldn't make lattes or cappuccinos, so I did what nobody else would. Their faces would drop every single time, especially the regulars who just wanted their morning flat white or afternoon cortado. We could only make Americanos, drip coffee, and cold brew, anything that didn't require steamed milk. The steam wand had been broken for 3 weeks, according to my coworkers, who just shrugged and said corporate was working on scheduling a technician. I used to fix equipment at my uncle's cafe all the time, espresso machines and grinders, and even some commercial steamers. So when it was slow on a Wednesday afternoon, I decided to take a look at the La Marzocco steam assembly. The manager, Derek, was off that day, and the shift supervisor told me to go for it if I thought I could help. The espresso machine itself worked fine. We could pull shots all day, but the steam wand was completely dead. Once I got the panels off, I found the issue. The steam valve had a blown gasket, and the pressure sensor was covered in old milk residue. Weeks of trying to force it had made things worse. I spent 3 hours taking apart just the steam assembly, replacing the gasket with one from our maintenance kit, and descaling everything with the approved cleaning solution. My coworkers started gathering around as I worked. Madison, who had been there 3 years, said she'd never seen anyone even try to fix it. Tyler started taking bets on whether I'd get it working. Even some customers at the counter were watching and cheering me on like I was performing surgery. One guy actually moved his laptop to a closer table just to watch the whole process unfold. When I finally got everything back together and opened the steam valve, the wand hissed to life with that familiar, powerful sound. I steamed a perfect pitcher of milk, silky microfoam with no big bubbles. Then I poured a Rosetta just to show off a little. The whole crew erupted in cheers and applause. Word spread fast through the neighborhood. They have lattes again. Customers who had been going to Starbucks came back for their usual drinks. We sold more cappuccinos and flat whites in 2 hours than the store had sold any coffee drinks all week. The line went out the door at one point. Everyone was so happy. Regulars were getting their proper drinks, and employees didn't have to explain anymore why a coffee shop couldn't make a latte. I felt like a hero, honestly. My coworkers kept patting me on the back and saying I should get a raise. One older gentleman bought an extra cappuccino just to thank me for fixing it. The shift supervisor even let me take an extra break as a reward. Madison started calling me the steam wand whisperer, which actually caught on with the rest of the crew. I went home that night feeling proud of taking initiative and solving a problem that had been plaguing the store. I even told my roommate about it, bragging about how I'd saved the day. The next morning, I walked in to find Derek waiting for me in the back office. He had this look on his face like I'd burned down the building. Before I could even clock in, he handed me a termination notice dated 2 weeks out. I stood there confused, trying to understand what I was reading. "You tampered with the La Marzocco," he said in this cold voice. I tried explaining that I only fixed the steam wand and customers were happy and we were selling lattes again. He cut me off and pulled out this thick contract. Turns out the coffee shop doesn't actually own those La Marzocco machines. They lease them from the distributor with a strict contract that says only certified La Marzocco technicians can do any repairs or maintenance, even just the steam wand. By fixing it myself, I had violated the $50,000 lease agreement and potentially voided the warranty. Corporate could fine the franchise owner thousands of dollars. There were insurance liability issues if someone got burned by steam from a wand repaired by a non-certified person. It didn't matter that I'd done everything correctly, and the machine was working perfectly. My coworkers tried to defend me. Madison told Derek I was just trying to help. Tyler explained how much money we'd made now that we could sell lattes again. Even some regular customers asked why the kid who fixed the steam wand was getting fired. Derek wouldn't budge. Rules were rules, and I'd broken a big one. He actually seemed frustrated about it himself, but corporate had already been notified. He made me work those final 2 weeks, which was awkward for everyone. The steam wand kept working perfectly the whole time, which somehow made it worse. Every latte art Rosetta we poured reminded everyone that I was getting fired for doing something helpful. On my last day, the crew pooled together and bought me a card and a gift certificate to Dunkin' as a joke. Except it wasn't really a joke because I actually did apply at the independent coffee shop down the street. During my interview, I told the owner why I'd been let go from my previous job. She laughed and said, "We actually own all our equipment here. When can you start?"